up and do so. You will not understand anything for how we got here. Okay, so this is our finished garment right here. Let's take a few steps back in time and I will show you how we got here. Okay, so go ahead and lay this back out with your right sides together. And we're going to start at the bottom of the shirt. And you want to match up your notch underneath the arm. All the way up to here. And that's going to be where our sleeve will start on our armhole. So you're just going to do that on both sides and then sew all the way up to here. And make sure you back stitch start and finish. Now we're going to put the pleats into our sleeve. So I've laid one out, and earlier, I hope you guys can see it, I have little Sharpie marks on here so you can see where my pleats are going to be. And I just marked each side of the rectangle in the middle. So I'm going to go ahead and just fold this to the middle. Add a pin. Fold this guy to meet in the middle. Add a pin. Now I just have to do that a million more times. Be sure that on the bottom, things are staying straight. It's really easy to, with pleating, you know, like if you're folding a paper fan and by the end of it, your straight piece of paper isn't straight anymore. It's really easy to do that when you're pleating as well with fabric, so. Okay, now let's do the other one. Next, we're going to do what is called a staying stitch, and all that means is it's going to make the little pleats that we did stay. So what we're going to do is line up the edge of our fabric with the edge of our sewing foot, and we're just going to go straight down and keep everything nice and in place. All right, here we go. just going to do the same thing on the other one. Okay, I've got my pleats sewn. Now I'm simply going to put my right sides together and sew straight down at a 5/8 seam allowance. You have your little pleats, right sides together. Okay, now I'm going to take this over to the ironing board, and just like with all the other pieces, I'm going to open up this middle seam right here and press it down. Alright, I'm going to set the sleeves aside for a little bit, and we're going to work on the cuffs. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to take our cuff, and we're going to fold it right sides together. And you're just going to sew straight up the side. And you're going to do that to both of them. Now we have our sleeves sewn, and all I've done is press open the seam. So what we're going to do is go ahead and turn it right side out. Okay, and you want to match up. You're going to go ahead and take the bottom seam, and you're going to match it up with the top seam. And you're just going to go around. Make sure this guy's open. And then our top seam is open. Match that guy up. And we're just kind of going to shake them in there. All that extra material will just kind of even out. So I'm going to go ahead and start pinning. Start with your nose. So that's that seam line with seam line. Again, you want to make sure you're not stretching your fabric or making it do anything it doesn't want to do. Your notches should match up right here. You don't want any weird puckering on your sleeve when you get this in place. sure everything else made it out okay when we turned it inside out. Okay, that looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and do the other one. We have nice pretty little cuffs right there, ready to go. So I'll meet you at the sewing machine. Okay, now it's time to put in another staying stitch. The only difference is we have the set to a zigzag, and that is to allow for movement. When you're putting on a shirt, your cuffs are going to stretch in and stretch out, so you want to make sure to allow for that. So I have mine set to a 4, which is pretty big on this machine. And I'm just going to put the end of the sewing foot at the end of the fabric. Okay, now you do the same thing to the other one. Alright, I'm putting this back under the machine. And you want to hide your stay stitch. So you want to make sure to sew well below that. And I'm going to keep it on zigzag and just sew all the way around on both of them. Okay, once you pull it out from under the sewing machine, it should look like this. And then all your pretty stuff on the inside. And you can actually try it on and make sure everything is how you want it. So I like the pleating, everything turned out pretty good. I don't see any weird puckering or anything like that. So now all I'm gonna do, you'll see right here, there's a lot of gunk and a lot of bulk. So what we're gonna do is go ahead and turn it backside out. And we're just gonna cut all of that extra excess off all the way around on both of them. And then we'll be ready to attach it to our shirt. Okay, so I've put the shirt back on the table. We have our cowl neck up here, we have our bottom of the shirt here, and then we have our armhole here. And I'm going to go ahead and take one of our sleeves that we've just sewn. As you can see, I've turned it pretty side out. And you want to make sure that this in the armhole and pin it to your bottom seam, your underarm seam. Let's attach these arms. Alright guys, well there's our shirt. We are nearly there. I'm going to go ahead and iron and pin and do one more little hem on the bottom just to finish this guy out. Alright guys, that's it. You did it. Hopefully you were sewing along and you found this useful and yours turned out like this. Please send me pictures. Also make sure to like or subscribe and subscribe. Like and subscribe to my channel, please. At Let's Talk Food and Fashion on YouTube. Make sure to follow me on Instagram